It's Monday on Daily Dingers. I got my boy Steve Armato. What's up, Steve?
What's up, man? How was your weekend? Let's talk about Boston.
Dude, it was great. Yeah, I was in Boston for Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Met a couple locals over there from Revere, Massachusetts. People talk funny, especially when they're drunk and drinking. They will say outrageous shit, and I had the camera rolling, so that's what I was there for.
I saw some of the videos. I mean, the people are outrageous up there.
Yes.
I mean,
Stuff
they're out.
that is so readily to come out of their mouth. It's like you didn't have to sit and think about it. You just like that was the first thing you thought of. You're like, wow, that's pretty aggressive.
They were subconsciously waiting for that moment for like the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So they were ready to go. But it looked like it was a lot of fun. Boston's a fun town though. Like Boston is a fun place to be. It's better in the summer, but even in the winter, it was like phenomenal when I went.
Yeah.
So great place to be. I have nothing but good things to say about the city and the people, and the sports culture up there is one of a kind too. So
Second
really
to none.
good
Great sports town, good food, and crazy people.
I know
think,
go ahead.
Philly gets the same kind of rap as I think Boston fans do. I mean, especially we've seen with the NBA Finals, a lot of the Boston fans, or cursing or whatever, and the Warriors' wives are like, "That's not nice. You shouldn't talk like that."
It's all part of it. Every fan base does it. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard some terrible things at Yankee Stadium towards Red Sox players. I've heard some terrible things at Citi Field towards like Phillies players. Like, I've heard terrible things everywhere I've been. So there are people that are just going to say terrible things. Am I condoning it? No, but it happens. And like, as a player, you kind of know it and you just deal with it, or you just tune it out. I don't know.
Well, here is if you bring it up, it's gonna get worse, right?
Yes.
Like, as a Boston fan, if you see them complaining, like, "Oh, they're saying swear words," like, you thought that was bad. Wait till next game,
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And like, it's also this is like it's like a culture in a lot of places. Like, so when I was playing college baseball, and like we went down south to play against like the big schools, like we played like in Texas, we played like against Mississippi State, LSU, like. We played against like these big schools, like not so much LSU, but more like the other teams, like Mississippi State, the teams that had like smaller fields where the fans were like, it was like a religion. Like LSU is a religion, but their stadium's big.
Sure.
They would look up. We weren't even a big school, we're like a tiny school, but they would look up like our Facebooks and like see who people were dating, and like they would bring like a sheet to games, and they would talk shit like things that you didn't know, like they would know. Like, it was crazy. They would say terrible things, and you just like very a lot of work went into the heckling that was done. And like at a certain point, we just laughed at it, and that was the end of it. Sorry, my dog is not happy with me right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that would be it. We were just done, and we and at the end of the series, they would be like. It would be all fun and games. They like called us over, gave us food and stuff. But like when you were there, they were just heckling the shit out of you. It was,
hey, you can call me whatever you want to if you're gonna give me food at the end.
Yeah. Oh my God. They gave us food at the end. I remember a guy told us that this was gonna be so good, it was gonna make us want to smack our mothers. I was like, wow, it's a bold statement. I'm Italian here, guy. Like, what do you?
That's
what do
from
you think
Friday
this is?
after next.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's as a player, you're ready to you're just prepared for it at this point. I know the wives probably don't like it, but still, like, you just got to be ready for it.
Right. I mean, you're getting paid millions of dollars. Nobody feels bad for you. Let's be honest.
Correct.
But today is Monday. We got another day, another week to be great. Be who you want to, do what you want to, start a new hobby, or we could just go undefeated in MLB bets, right?
Yes, we can. I mean, I feel like we're going to have a 6-0 day today.
Dude, I hope so. I mean, these were I thought easier leans or easier plays today than some other slates.
I mean, when I woke up and I looked at the slate, I didn't feel that way. And then I started doing I looked at the pitching matchups and I was like, oh, today's one of those days. And then I just started looking through everything and I was like, today's not one of those days. This is like a feel good type of day.
You know what I am excited about is and we won't want to get into it, but Lynn back today.
Yes, he is
pitching.
I know. I know he's back. So tell me this. Tell me this. If you had this is my feeling on Lance Lynn. This has nothing to do with baseball, just in general. This is if I had to choose a player that I would say after games just crushes Bush heavies, like 16-ounce tall boys, Bush heavies, like after games, it's Lance Lynn. Like
And
he
fried
looks
chicken.
yeah, right. With like bucket of fried chicken, 16-ounce can of Bush heavy, it's Lance Lynn. Like that guy is amazing to me.
He's obviously not following a diet plan. I mean, he's
No.
just not. And when you're that good at pitching, you don't have to, right?
Right. Remember David Wells? Did he follow a
Yeah.
diet plan?
I mean,
Pretty good.
baseball in general allows fat people to be athletes, which is so great, you know?
That's what people. That's exactly. That's why people like Babe Ruth. You think Babe Ruth was in shape? Come on.
Take a look at Alejandro Kirk, who's going to be an all-star this year.
I know that man is like that
He
man
looks
is like a
he looks like the guy that rips up my tickets at the movie theater, you know?
that man is a kegerator. He's like
Yeah.
he's like 5'6", like 280, just running
Yeah.
around the bases. Like he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. I will shout out my friend Frank Amaranti. He's on Twitter, big baseball guy. He called this shot on Alejandro Kirk before the season started. So
that's a solid call.
yeah, that was a great call. But yeah, I mean, that's why people do love baseball players, because like you don't need to be in shape.
Right.
To be an
You
athlete.
can be a fat guy, athletic, good, and people root for you.
Exactly. And that's why, I mean, you teased me. You teased one of my picks today with Lance Lynn back on the hill, baby.
I know. We're going to get into our picks now because that's what everybody wants to hear. Our reasoning, our breakdowns. Steve, I'm going to go first. First game I'm looking at is Braves versus Nationals. Ooh. And in that game, I like the Braves money line. That's at -145. You can get that at PointsBet. Also, if you're feeling a little frisky and looking for some plus money action, -1.5 is going to be a play as well. I'm going to stick with the money line on the show just because I'd rather be right. Mm-hmm. But in my own pocket, I am going to sprinkle on that little 1.5 as well. Now, Pete, why the Braves versus Nationals? Well, got Ian Anderson on the bump today. He has not been a great pitcher this season, right? But he limits his walks, and he has a K percentage of almost 20. So he's pretty consistent, I would say. Key stat here that I was looking at was barrel percentage, which is only 5. So he's not getting barreled up very much. He's not getting squared up too often, which, again, we discussed. It's going to lead me to believe he's going to continue to progress because he's kind of got the stuff. He's not getting squared up. Washington ranks 17th in regards to OPS in baseball this season. Braves. Now, this is what I was looking at. We talked about it last week. I'm starting to look at more so time frame. So over the last 7 days, Braves are second in OPS, third in runs scored. The Braves, as we know, are on a win streak. They've won 11 in a row, and in those 11 games, they've covered the run line 9 times. So I think for those reasons, Braves money line and the -1.5 is a good plus money bet.
This is a great plus money bet. This is a great play by you. I tweeted this yesterday. And I said baseball betting tip. I said you will make a lot more money. You will make a lot more money riding a team's win streak than you will betting on them to lose. Mm-hmm. So, like, because people like see long win streaks like the Braves, they're like, oh, they have to lose eventually. They have to lose eventually. But when they're playing bad teams, you don't want to do that. You just ride the wave and you ride the streak. And guess what? They did it again against the Pirates. They're going to do it again against the Nationals. So, like, you ride it as long as it goes because you'll make a lot more money than you will just being like, oh, they're going to lose. They have to lose today. They have to. So, I like where your head's at there.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the case with the Phillies yesterday. Phillies were playing shitty Diamondbacks team, and they got their dicks kicked in by the Diamondbacks, and the pitching matchups did not look good either. And I was like, oh, yeah, they're on a winning streak, and they're playing shitty teams, but that one did come to an end. That's why I was kind of like, oh.
And it was a beatdown, too.
Yeah.
It was a beatdown, too. So, I mean, I thought the same, though. I thought that was like, there's no way they're going to lose, but bad teams do win games sometimes, but if you decided at win number 6 that you were going to start betting against the Phillies, you lost a lot of money 3 days in a row there. So
exactly.
That's it. But
You're
so
right.
I guess I'll get into. Should I get into my first pick today?
Give it to me.
Let's go. All right, I'm going. This is very similar to last week. Going Blue Jays first 5 team total over 2.5 -135. So Jays coming back home to Toronto and they get the Orioles. The Orioles are starting Kyle Bradish. Comes into this one with a 6.45 ERA and an expected ERA of 6.06. And tonight he gets a Blue Jays lineup that is second in the MLB over the last 2 weeks with a 936 OPS, fourth in the MLB in runs over that same span. And to top it off, if you go the entire season, they're third in the MLB in OPS. And this is just a bad matchup for a young rookie against a good offense that's hitting their stride. Look, and surprisingly, I was going to look at the full game team total, but surprisingly, the Orioles bullpen isn't that bad. I think they're like 7th or 8th in team bullpen ERA. So I like the over 2.5 for the first 5 here. I like the Blue Jays to get them early, get on them. They're at home. They're gonna mash this guy tonight. So I'll take the -135 juice on this one.
Baltimore ranked 7th in regards to bullpen ERA. So yes, not very bad at all, like you mentioned.
Yeah. So I mean, I was surprised by that number because I was like, you look at a couple of their starters and like you got some ERAs in the 4.5s. We got some ERAs that are high here. Like let's look at like what the full game would be. But then I looked at the bullpen and I was like, their bullpen is not that bad. So like the Jays could get off to like that early run and then kind of slow down a little bit. So I like him to get 3 in the first 5 off this kid. He's their number 10 overall prospect. I'm not saying he's going to end up being bad, but like it's a bad matchup for him against a really good lineup.
Sure. Now you just made me question my next pick because my next pick is also in this game, but I went with full game. I went with Blue Jays -1.5 on the run line. You can get that at -145 at PointsBet. For the reasons like you mentioned, Kyle Bradish, 6.05 expected ERA. All of his advanced stats are trash. Almost 45% hard hit rate. His ex-WOBA is almost 400, 300 expected batting average, slug almost 550. Orioles and Blue Jays ranked 5th and 6th in OPS over the last week. So both teams are actually hitting pretty well over the last week.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Right? Yeah. Granted, it could be the teams that they played, but Blue Jays still ranking 23rd in strikeouts over the last week. So very good. They're not striking out very often. Manoah, we know what Alek Manoah does. Barrel percentage 3.1. I mean, very rarely is he getting barreled up. Bradish, he's got a 6.45 ERA. He hasn't gone into the 5th inning 4 out of his last 5 starts. So I do see them putting a lot of weight and problems on the O's bullpen. Like you mentioned, I know they are ranked 7th, but if he's given 4 innings and they got to dip into the bullpen, I mean, after a long weekend, who knows? But for those reasons, I do like Blue Jays -1.5. Kind of get, like you said, get to Bradish early, and then just, we know what Manoah does. Manoah can give you 7 solid, maybe 8 would be great, but that's kind of how I see that playing out.
I mean, I do definitely think that this is a good pick because the Orioles, I know they've been hitting, but they're not consistent with their lineup at all. They haven't been consistent all year. They're very up and down. And Manoah's just good, man. I mean, this kid is a stud. And look, if they get out to a friggin' like 5-0 lead early on, like the Orioles aren't gonna come back and contend in this. I don't see it. So I get plus the -145. You're gonna have to buy it up a little bit, definitely, but like I don't mind buying that up at this point, especially with the good team. You got to ride good teams against bad teams, especially in series when the starting pitching is favoring the much better team, because in this situation, that's what we're looking at.
And I don't know if you saw the money line on this, but it was just absurd.
I was like, I thought it was -180, but I thought it moved.
It's -295. I saw it at -3 something earlier.
So that was the wrong. I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at my here now. Yeah, no, that was looking at the wrong thing on that. Holy God. Man.
Well, run line moved down to -140, so that's good. That'll save 5 points there.
Yeah, but that's a good bet. That's a good play. -1.5 is definitely a great play. You're a little bolder than me today in this scenario.
Right.
So I'm going to move on to My second play of the day, White Sox, Tigers under 8.5. That's at -120. It's an AL Central battle tonight, and we have two of the three worst offenses in baseball against right-handed pitching. So we got Lance Lynn making the season debut, crushing Busch Lights before the game. Actually, probably Busch Lights before the game, Busch Heavies after. And
Obviously.
then he's facing Ronnie Garcia, who nobody really knows anything about other than that he's a pitcher for the Tigers. But here we go. White Sox, 28th in the MLB against righties at 615 OPS. Tigers, dead last against righties, 576 OPS. Then if you take away the righties and you just look at both of these offenses on the entire season as a whole, you're looking at the White Sox, who are 27th in runs scored. Tigers are dead last in runs scored. Those rankings are the same in the OPS department. So the White Sox are 27th in OPS, Tigers dead last in OPS. Bottom line here, 9 runs combined seems like a lot for both of these teams. Also, in Detroit, one of the biggest ballparks in the MLB, I'm rolling under 8.5 tonight with the -120.
Dude, I got to tail that. That's great. You're absolutely seeing that completely right. And then, like you said, the only thing I would think is Lance Lynn coming back. Who knows how that start was going to be? I was looking at some of his rehab starts, and it looks like he posted a 9 ERA, 1.7 WHIP in 10 innings. So
yeah,
I know that's.
I
know
just
that
don't look into that.
You can't read too much into that because it's a rehab start. I understand.
And also, like, the Tigers, man, I just I don't know why they do not score. And the White Sox only hit lefties. It's the weirdest. It's the weirdest, strangest thing here. I like, if this was in Chicago, I'd be a little wary. But like Detroit, Comerica plays enormous too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I do understand what you're saying though about hopefully Lynn could go 5. If he goes 5, like we're money on this.
Yeah.
We're cruising here. So
yeah, like you said, 9 would be asking a lot.
Yeah. It's just been one of those years for both of these teams. Like, I mean, the Tigers, dude, Javi Baez, if you threw it into the third row, he's swinging at it. Like, it's unbelievable to watch.
Saw that coming. I put that article on my website about Bus for this year, and he was my number 1 pick, dude. The chase rate, disgusting. K rate, gross. Like, don't see anything positive about it. I'm glad they got rid of him in Chicago, honestly.
Yeah, and like I was like, when he came to the Mets last year, I just watched a couple at bats, and I was like, I was like, I can't watch his at bats because he just gets up. There's no approach. It's just, I'm just gonna swing. I don't care really where it is. If it's a strike, maybe I'll hit it out. He's electric. In that aspect, he's electric. He plays great defense. He's got a personality and stuff. But like, dude, you need to have an approach at the plate. Like, you can't just keep swinging at everything all day, every day. Like, eventually they're going to adjust to you, and you're going to look silly. And he has looked silly all season.
Yeah, he had, I think it was like 45% or close to 45% chase rate as of last season. Like, when I wrote that, and I was just like, yeah, it ain't getting that much better, you know?
No, not at all. So, what else you got today? What else you got?
We're going to Arizona. We got the Reds versus the Diamondbacks. And I like Diamondbacks team total over 4.5, -115 at points bet. Yeah, I mean, a couple of, not so great teams, but reasons for I like the over 4.5. The Reds bullpen really struggling. They are the worst in baseball. 5.14 ERA. Bullpen, very bad. Mike Minor is making his 3rd start this season. His last 2 outings, he only pitched 8 1/3 innings, giving up 8 earned runs. So doesn't go very long. 4 innings. What happens after 4 innings? I don't see Minor going longer than 4 or 5. Bullpen comes in, the worst in baseball, giving up more runs. Like I mentioned before, Diamondbacks surprisingly 2nd most runs scored in baseball, and the 3rd most RBIs, and top 12 in OPS in the last 7 days. So last 7 days, they are hitting 3rd most RBIs, 2nd most runs, and then they're top 12 in OPS. So that, coupled with shitty starting pitcher, shittiest bullpen, give me 4.5 at -115.
And I like this pick here. This pick says to me, like, I like this pick because this pick last week, I tried to get fancy with the Diamondbacks. This is the same exact matchup as last week. I tried to get fancy with the Diamondbacks against lefties.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they don't hit lefties. Like we're gonna be great here. And they just shelled Mike Minor in like 4 1/3. And I expect this to happen again. He's just not good. It doesn't
Right.
matter if a team can't hit lefties, can't hit righties. He's not good. He's not going to go deep. And when he doesn't go deep, the bullpen stinks. So like this is free money. Just print it and get
So
it out of here.
that's another thing we need to keep an eye on for the rest of the season, Steve, is when we're looking at splits, right? When we're looking at left versus righty, we also have to look at quality of the pitcher too, right?
Yes,
We just
correct.
keep that in mind because I mean it's easy when we get lost in all these stats and we're like, oh, matchups, whatever. And then you kind of have to like take a step back and be like, this guy fucking sucks though. Like, I don't care what arm he throws with. He could throw with his fucking toe. It doesn't matter,
Doesn't matter. If he sucks, he sucks. And they're major league hitters like that. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. So
yeah.
Speaking of guys who suck, I'm right.
Yes.
I am riding this one because all right. So I got Nolan Arenado over 1.5 total bases plus 110. He doesn't suck. The pitcher he's facing sucks. So here we go. The Cardinals take on the Pirates tonight, and Mitch Keller is going for the Pirates. So Mitch Keller is the guy who
related to Helen Keller.
Maybe the way he pitches, it's unbelievable. He's the guy who he just came into spring training, and instead of throwing 94, he was now throwing 97. And everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's spin rate is unbelievable. His velocity's up. He's gonna have a breakout year." And then he just comes out every start and just gets shellacked. Okay, so he's got a 5.45 ERA. He has been slightly better over his last 3 starts. I don't think he's given up more than 2 earned in his last 3, but Nolan Arenado is 3 for 8 against this guy with a home run and 4 RBIs. That's a 375 batting average for those of you scoring at home. Arenado is a much better hitter than Mitch Keller is a pitcher. 1.5 total bases at plus money. That's a double in the gap first inning. I'm taking the plus 110 shot. Too much value on this one. Nolan Arenado over 1.5 total bases. You could thank me later. This one is also free.
Also, real quick, I'm going to see if I can find Pirates. Yeah, ERA 1.2. They're just below the Cubs in bullpen, just below the Phillies. So that's the company that they're hanging out with.
That's not a good. You don't want to be in that company,
right? So
that's
they're about middle of the pack when it comes to bullpen ERA at least.
Yeah. I mean, and look, I will gladly take this. Like 3 for 8 is a small sample size, but I'll gladly take it. I just think he's a much better player than Mitch Keller is as a pitcher. So this is like I said,
lighting it up all season too.
Right. So just give me the free money. Plus 110. You're giving me plus 110 on this. I'm taking that every single time. So here we go. I know not a ton of deep analysis in this one, but this is a pick that I love. So.
Dude, there's things called field picks too, right?
That's true.
I mean, we give out a lot of stats all fucking day, this whole show. Sometimes it's a field pick, right?
Right. We gave out. I mean, we went deep in the analysis on the White Sox Tigers there. You went deep in the Diamondbacks over. This is a field pick, and this is it's free. I'm telling you right now, this is hitting tonight. We're going to clip this out after he hits a double in the first inning. It's going to go all over social media, and we're going to get psyched about it. I'm bringing the energy today. It's Monday, so we're bringing the Monday energy to get the week started.
You got it, dude. Steve's got him. We're going to recap, guys, real quick. I got Braves money line. If you're feeling a little spicy, you could also go -1.5. 2 very good bets. I also got Blue Jays -1.5. And then that Diamondbacks team total over 4.5. Steve, what do you got?
I got Blue Jays first 5 team total over 2.5. I got White Sox Tigers under 8.5. And I got Nolan Arenado over 1.5 total bases.
Guys, that is our show. We finished it in 24 minutes. Beautiful job done, Steve. Hopefully we got 6 winners today. 6 for 6 would be awesome. But then again, let's just be profitable, right?
That's it, baby. Profit all day.
And making smart picks. That's what we're here to do.
That's right, baby. Great show. Thank you again. I'm psyched to get back at it on Wednesday.
Guys, we will be back at it on Wednesday. Everyone have a great day. These picks will be out on Twitter shortly. And then if you want to rewatch the show, it's available where it's available. All right, Steve. I'll see you, bro.
All right. See you, man. Have a great